Okay, we are now recording. All right, sharing screen. Let me know when you can see my screen.
See you so far.
This delay is not good. Problem is I'm exporting a video project right now, and it's about 5 hours into it, so it's using
Oh,
some of
great.
my. All right, what do you see now?
I'm just looking at you.
Am I moving?
Yes, you're moving just fine.
You can see my hand going back and forth.
I see your hand going back and forth. Yes, sir.
When do you see my the number one go up?
Right now.
Okay, wow, that's real time.
Yep.
Why are we not sharing screen? Let me go back to that.
Do I need to hit the share screen button? Because I see a share screen popped up. It's like I'm sharing. It's like you're trying to share. Let me share my screen.
No. Just
Okay.
me. Oh, I didn't press the final button. I pressed share screen, but not start sharing. Okay, should be up
There we
now.
go. I got you. Yep. I'm
Okay, here
looking
we
at it
go.
now.
Okay. All right. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to rewind this. We're going to watch the whole video from the start and to finish. Go. 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 So these are the captions we're going to be taking and breaking down. And you can see where he scored a 65. And then that's it. Okay, let's pull it back to stage one. Okay, so
Okay.
stage one, the very first five things that we're sitting here evaluating are basically an offset and prepped left foot, speaking from foundation up. We're also talking about a closed hip, a vertical spine, a closed shoulder, and a close relationship with the ball to the throw. So the point of thing, as you can see, many of these things he has on, but we give, and he's within reason on all of them. But what we do always calculate is perfection. So I'm not sure I would recoach much of this. Maybe a little bit higher with the ball, but not much. The hip is not too far out of alignment. The concern would be how do we close to the right hand side and do we bring the hip with it? That would be the concern out of the prep position because our foundation or how we start is always a big determinant and it has characteristics of the result. So meaning that
Okay.
if my right hip or my left hip and I turn to the right to throw doesn't close, well, here's a remnant of why it probably doesn't help in any way to close. It's already open. So that's I was concerned. And then the ball being prepared a little bit closer up top, pointer finger, top knuckle to on the shoulder frame. Okay, going on to the next.
Okay. Oh, by the way, JD is here now, so we can talk directly to him if you
JD,
Hello.
all is right with the world now that you're here.
need.
Okay, so as we look here, what we always are concerned with, are we clearing the left side to drive the right side through? And here you've opened up your left leg to allow the hip to be driven. You got the left side of the ribs that are about to clear. And we always take in concern how the next frames go and does this take place? And then we come back and we make sure that this is a green graphic if that's true. So what you do here is you do it well. You do clear the left side. You rip the left elbow aggressively, maybe potentially a little too aggressive, but that's okay. But this is looking good. Now, as we come through here, you can see in this position, your elbow probably is a bit low. And then we come here, and certainly enough, this graphic is not timed right, but your elbow is too low, and it should be higher at this point. Okay, it technically should be much higher at this point. Okay,
Okay.
it's going to have a lot to do with how you throw and have to go out to the side, because this is the choice that you've taken to go low. Now, this is a bit timed up. I'm not happy with the timing of this. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this tapped in here.
Stop it. You can take notes.
Now, you can see if I were to level out your shoulders, how sidearm would this be? So if your shoulders within like this, you'd be throwing the ball out here, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So we're not really getting any throwing groove in your shoulder at all. Okay, your whole left side is pretty stymied, and you're swinging around your left side with a stiff front knee, and you're pulling your arm around, kind of a yank. This is more of a yank than a throw. Okay, and you're choosing to go outside. You can see how you go outside of the throw. Even the ball takes on, and quite often you'll miss to the right because of you throw out to the right and have to swoop across and yank. So it's not exactly, physics aren't in your favor to throw directly online all the time, because you choose to stiffen your left side and yank the arm around instead of throw over the top with a good pro throwing groove with that shoulder. Now I'm going to bring that back to the, so if he were to actually time this up where it should be correct, you see how this is, we call this centrifugal balance, okay? And it's basically, if this middle line is straight up, then that means you are balanced with the laws of physics to throw with balance and accuracy. I'm going to bring this back just a bit. This is probably closer, but this is probably worse, because it's supposed to be at your release point. He had that mistimed a bit. But a line through here and a line throughout here, your midline is probably more in there. And it's a little bit more off center because you're yanking around like tetherball instead of driving through like you're supposed to and throwing over the top. All right? Now, going to the next one. Let's pull that back. Now, you missed this because this is called Bermuda Triangle. When your belt buckle and your chest are at target, that is when you're supposed to release the ball. Now, again, this is mistimed, and a lot of times that happens with the slower frame. Oh, gosh dang it. Let me in there. Look at that ball. Oh, mercy. All right, so you can see this is at release point, right, JD?
He had to run get a drink. Hold on a second. He's running back. I don't know why he feels like he has to run away.
Okay, well, this right here, the belt buckle and the chest.
Give me 2 seconds. He's walking for some reason. I'm sorry about this.
That's okay.
All right, he's in now.
Okay, so when you release the ball, your belt buckle and your chest are supposed to be at target, and yours obviously are not. What that means is this ball is not supposed to go to target. This means this ball is probably going to be erratic in terms of consistency. It won't be consistent based on your chest and your belt buckle. And really, that has a point to do with your left leg being straight and you yanking around the side instead of choosing to throw with the left knee bent and throwing your elbow early over the top. And you don't have to do this big yank around tetherball program you got going on. All right, as we can tell, you don't pronate your hand. You see how your hand is gripped straight right here? And it's not rotated over like in a pronation?
Yeah.
JD, do you know what I mean with your thumb and pointer finger down?
That's what I was talking about.
This is a baseball pitcher's flip. This is like a shortstop's flip. You can see it in your. There's a little glimpse of this.
Yeah,
look at your hand.
I pointed it out. You hit. Yeah, there it is. That's what I was talking about.
That is bad. Extremely bad for the elbow. Not healthy at all. And not great for an accurate ball. At least you finished pretty good with the shoulders there. All right, going to the side. Now, the side, locked and loaded. Here we go. We got a decent base. We got some gas in the tank. The ball's a bit low, and the shoulders are aiming up. Can you go figure why the shoulders are aiming up for a 10-yard throw? So that is now a variable instead of a consistency. Okay.
That's Ken.
This actually should be red. This ball.
Chris.
Yes.
Chris. JD has a question to ask. He's afraid to ask questions. So.
Does
Sure.
the green mean it's in the right place?
Yes.
Okay.
Green is good. Red is bad. So green means that, like, for instance, your feet. We're judging here in locked and loaded. We're judging, do you have a good big base? We're judging, do you have 2/3 tank? Right? That's that line down here, 2/3 tank. Do you have a close relationship with the ball to being well prepared to throw? And then are your shoulders on the line with where you're throwing? And we know this is a 10-yard ball, so we know that they shouldn't be up. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm actually going to disagree with what he has here. The IT coach, I missed this earlier. I probably sent it to him saying that this needed to be changed. I can't remember, but I haven't got back the final. This is should be a red. This goes down. Can you see how it goes down a little bit there?
You're talking about the ball moving down, dropping down?
Yeah, because it's already low. We can't go any lower. I don't mind a little J. Technically, I don't mind a little J in the throw, but that's if your pointer finger is on the shoulder blade. Just a bit low. All right, so, but you do step and replace decent because you had the big base, so everything's okay there. Your elbow split's pretty okay. It's a little off balance with the arm down, but everything else is pretty good. I like everything. But notice how you got everything up here. Your hips are up, your knees are up, and your shoulders, of course, are up. Okay? All right, now, here's where we get bad. Because we're going to yank across our body, choose the outside and yank across our body. Good job with the drive foot and the drive hip. Great job there. But what we're not doing is our elbow is too low at transition point. So now it's going to be way too hard to go up and over. So you choose the outside method, and I guarantee you stiffen your leg and whip across the arm.
All right.
You do rise, though. One thing is you do rise, but it's a cheater rise. This right here is what we call target accuracy and control. And basically, elbow has to go over the hill. Elbow has to take the lead with the ball behind, which you do this, but it's a cheater's way of doing it because you're still throwing sidearm with that. You're bending your shoulders, dipping it so far down so you can achieve this goal. But if you wouldn't start so low here and you were more level, like where if your elbow was where my pointer finger is, right? If this was all straight, shoulder to shoulder to elbow, right there, where my pointer is, if your elbow was at the top of my pointer, and then you chose to do this, I guarantee you would have a different throw. You would be considerably more accurate and much more. You would have much more confidence in your throw.
Hang on a second, hang on a second, Chris. I need to explain this to him. Your elbow, you see where his pointer is?
Yeah.
Your elbow has to be up that high. So,
Okay.
so you're dropping down. See how you need a straight line from here to here.
Okay.
See how it goes to shoulder and then drops down and then goes
Can you
up.
guys see me in the frame at all?
Yes, sir. See him on frame?
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay. Right there's the move. Right, you're right here. And then you choose to go around the side instead of being here and just going up and rising the elbow correctly.
Okay.
So
now, you do a pretty good job with the snap, but this is a sidearm snap, so it's hard to judge. But you elbow snapped and then you hand snapped, which was within the reason of what we like. And what's amazing is you have a bent knee on this one at the time of release. So
now this is a different.
This
This is a different path than the front one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we had to do two different. We had to do side and front. Okay.
Yep. And then we look at finish. That's not a bad finish to me. I'm not sure why he docked you on that. I probably sent him a note to correct that. But you did have shoulder rotation, and you have a decent body posture forward. And I know what he's thinking. You need to be a little bit more forward than you could be. So if we're looking for perfection, yes, you could be a little bit more forward. But you don't want to bend over like a pitcher. You just don't want to be straight up either.
What is I'm looking at the degree. It's 103.7 degrees. What is the perfect degree to where that would pull in green on a degree?
Well,
what are we
really,
aiming for as far as forward? That's going to make it a smaller degree, obviously, but
probably about 155 to 158. I mean, you're not looking for much more than where he's at because you don't want to be laying over.
Right, but you're saying 155, but that's 103 degrees on. That should be a smaller number, right? If he's leaning
Correct.
forward over, that
And 180 would be straight up.
Right. So you're saying that he needs to be at 155, so he's bent over too far.
No, so 180 would be straight up, right?
Right.
So 155 would be about where my point. You think that says 103? It says 163.7.
Oh, it says 163. Okay, that's 63. I thought that was 103. Gotcha. Okay.
Where my pointer is
It's a
approximately.
little blurry. Yeah, it's a little blurry on mine. I thought that was a 0. All right, we're good.
Okay. Now, if we look at comparison. So here we go. So vertical spine, too close, shoulder and hip closed, foot off target line, and open and ready. Ball a little higher. See where my ball is compared to yours?
Yeah.
Just a couple inches different, not too far off, but it could be better.
And it should be
Here
up
we
at
go.
the shoulders.
Like me, you're super aggressive with the left side, getting the left side out of there, and we're really getting it. But look at my elbow prep. According to you, let me get this dog out of here.
Keep the dog out of
Get out of here.
here. He is recording this.
So nice to actually have those actually show this.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so the you can see how the elbow prep for me is already on the rise, and it's starting at a much different situation in terms of height when he's probably about 4 inches further down than where I'm at currently.
So this elbow needs to.
You're talking about the throwing elbow or the left elbow?
Yes, right elbow, where the graphic lays.
Okay.
So the red is where his elbow swings through. That's the area that it swings through at.
Right.
So which is lower than his shoulder line. And you can see how mine is probably about 1 inch to 3 inches above my shoulder line.
Right.
Centrifugal balance, you can see where the line goes through the wrist and through the throat, the middle line where that's at. Now, if you remember, you were worse where the frame should have been on currently.
What about this?
I don't understand the question, JD.
All right, so Bermuda Triangle. Remember, when I showed this before, which you can always go back and look at, your chest at release point. This is not your release point. This graphic is timed incorrectly. But your chest and your belt buckle were much more to the left at release point, which is another frame by. You cannot do that. You have to have chest and belt buckle at release at target.
Does that make sense?
There's the pronation. I'm sorry?
I was making sure that he understood what you were saying as far as belt buckle and chest at target.
Gotcha. So, and then the pronation, which we talked about, pointed finger and pointed finger and thumb down, where you come across, and then we both have good finishes. This is good here. All right, now you can check the differences here. Big
Ball
base,
higher.
gas tank, ball at the more of a ready position, shoulders lined. Now, see how your ball went down that I would have given you a red graphic? He gave you a green one. But you push back and step and replace. Then you got elbow. You want to be leveled. Now, my shoulders, you'll see my shoulders a bit up. I was throwing about a 25-yard ball on this one. So mine's a little bit different here, and I have a little bit saved spine, like a slingshot spine, because I'm throwing upward. I'm throwing about a 1.5 ball. But here, you can see you got the elbow split as well. That's what that's supposed to look like.
See the difference I was talking about?
Yeah.
Driven hip with that good drive leg. See the level shoulders through the elbow, and then up and over. Just like that.
Yeah.
A little bit different. You can see how your elbow's out to the side a little bit. My elbow's a little bit more high, up near my ear, up a little higher than my ear. You see that?
Where his elbow is at his ear.
Yeah.
And yours is up
At
in
my
front
cheek.
of you at your cheek, at your chin.
Yeah.
Chin.
Yeah, somewhere around your throat.
Yeah. That's way low.
Right here.
And then look at the snap differences. Because you don't have a snap choice like mine is. You don't have that snap choice out to the side like that.
Because of the elbow.
Is
There
that
you
is that
go.
elbow problem or he? To me, I think he's pulling in his baseball throw basically. He's pulling in his pinky
Sure.
first rather than pronating.
It's totally a baseball throw, and that means it's always got to do with the elbow. That's
Gotcha.
the problem.
Okay.
Is they have that low elbow flip, and everything else is nothing but a counter from thereafter.
All right.
So that low elbow in the transition point right here is the most important piece of information. I mean, he's not in a bad situation here, he actually, when he rotates the ball up, look what happens. He sinks the elbow down.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Then, I mean, and it's like, if you're, let's say you're getting to a measurement of whatever 5 is, but you're getting to a measurement of 5. Well,
Right.
he's starting at -2, so he's got 7 units to go.
Gotcha.
I'm starting at a 0, and I've only got 5.
Right.
So he has to choose to go to the outside and baseball flip it, which causes a hand to be flipped like a shortstop.
Gotcha.
It's not very easy to do what he's choosing to do. All right. And then I guess I'm at 142. Mine's real blurry. 142 point something. And I would suggest that, you know, your shoulders actually didn't rotate enough to finish here. I would tell him that you're actually not rotated enough. So, anyway, in a basic, I mean, those are the things. If I were to attack anything here, number one would be the elbow, maybe a ball 2 inches higher on prep, and then the elbow to be higher in transition and go upward. That's probably the number one thing. Elbow go up at transition. Stop going out to the side and making life tough.
Okay.
Those are probably the keys. All right. Let's see here. Now, I don't know. I put in a request for him to make your guys' page. I don't know where he is with that on QBTV. So I'll find out. You can see I'm not on my coach's page. So let's see here. Let me stop sharing. Okay, so what'll happen is I'll get the recorded video of this in like probably 2 hours or an hour or so, and then I'll just send it over via something. I'm not sure how I will share, but I'll send to you via a link through Blue Jeans. Okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys. Good job, JD. Throw better with the elbow if you want to be a quarterback.
Hey, Chris, just real quick before I let you go, what we've been working on since we've been with you is lower body stuff, right? So footwork and setting up the hips and feet and everything. All of that looks pretty good up to this point, right? So,
yes.
So we need to start working on I don't know if going forward or I'm just trying to get him figure out what we're going to do to fix that and start working on the hips and up from here or as we continue on with you.
Well, the main thing is to get the elbow to start going upward at transition.
Okay.
And pronating the fingers, because those two issues go hand in hand together.
Okay.
That baseball flip in the current style is really hard to continue if he chooses the elbow to be correct, like a pro NFL quarterback instead of like one that sits on the bench when he's in 3rd grade.
Right. Okay. Very good. No, I totally understand. That's the things we need to think about going forward that I'm trying to make sure that we got a handle on.
Number one thing is elbow up.
Elbow up,
and the comfort really is getting the shoulder to be okay with the elbow going upward
right.
and there. That's really the key.
Okay.